They said Gray paved the way, changed the rain, released the pain, leaves you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high in Delhi, I'm a fighter jet, journey.
Man, it feels good to hear that music. Listen, I got the Doc Brown joints going on, Rob K, Muffins Martinez, last but not least, the host with the most, the OG, Boricua Dandada. Gentlemen, I know you guys have been doing this, but talk to me, how have you been? And we're going to talk some dope MLW shit. Let's get it popping.
All I have to say is one thing is like, holy crap. It's been like, what, 6 months? We put this man's picture in no curtains, wine glasses, wine bottles.
I've been illegally
liquor bottles,
posters onto
yeah,
our
man.
bowls.
We put this guy's face on everything. It's been like 6-7 months, man. Welcome back, Chef. Oh my goodness.
It feels good to be back. Like I haven't talked MLW for a while. You guys have been doing the damn thing. Rob looking like the most professional guy we've ever had, literally, on podcasting history.
There you go. It's a professional dude.
Let's bring it back.
Hey, one more thing.
So Rob,
One more thing before we jump in. Right now, you know something is burning in hell when Chef is back. Because right now, Diddy's house, Pop Daddy Combs' house is getting raided by
two of them
as we speak.
Two of them.
Two houses.
This.
Yeah. Both his properties, and I know this isn't a hip hop podcast, but his oldest son also is being investigated for a shooting with him and his dad supposedly shooting a guy in a recording studio. His life is about to come to shit.
Well, they were talking about the sex scandal thing, so that's what I thought it was about.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one domino pushes the rest of them down. So if there's any other skeletons that can be had.
So this is all
Chef's fault. They can move unless they think they got you.
Chef, it's all Chef's fault.
This is what happens when you're out of favors.
Yeah, this is Chef's fault.
Wow, first day back, Rob. Why I got to deal with this? Like, you ain't had to deal with this.
I mean, I just make up stuff right off the bat, so he's so confused he can't defend. He can't come at me because he's already in the fetal position.
He's 1,000% correct.
So, gentlemen, I want to talk Salina De La Renta and El Jefe, right? Like, El Jefe said he got an offer you can't refuse, and to me, when we had kind of talked about this a few months ago, this feels like the legit start of the enemy of my enemy is my friends, and the enemy being MLW. Salina De La Renta is absolutely murdering it. She's building a legit badass group. We've seen Rocky Romero get taken out recently, so El Jefe kind of let you play around, you're going to get touched too. But with the offer you can't refuse, and we just recently seen Court Bauer being taken out, it feels like MLW is up for grabs. And what better time do the two most powerful people in the game take over? That's just my opinion, and I want to hear from your guys' standpoint on what y'all think this might be.
Well, I'll jump in. With the offer you can't refuse, like, really, it sounds like an ultimatum. Like, in the end, it's an ultimatum of some sort. The real question is what is the ultimatum? And Money says that it's either, as you put it, they're looking to, they're willing to get a truce and become the most powerful conglomerate in MLW, or B, the other option is probably going to be a winner takes all of some sort, and that my guess would be Azteca Lucha. Was it going to be? Who knows? Like, El Jefe is a big fan of two things in life, and that is violence and cash money. And so if he definitely sees the dollar bills of once again merging with Promociones Dorado, like, he's going to do it. Like, and Salina, at her heart, like, yes, she can be spiteful. She, regardless of like whatever, her mood is, she's a businesswoman at heart as well. Like, so she may get a couple of digs in, but once she realizes, like, the bottom line, there's more power and more money to be had at the table, like she would be willing to drop everything as well, especially if it just puts her, you know, that much closer to possibly stabbing him in the back and just taking it all for herself.
Yeah, it's. I agree with what Rob had just mentioned about they having some kind of ultimatum match at the May 11th show there in Chicago, because we've seen all the different names that are coming in. But 4 years ago, we had a little young guy there, a junior there, who had mentioned that before they went into COVID, that Azteca Underground was going to be one main show of taking over everything. And we've seen a couple of weeks ago when Duran came in and spoke to Court Bauer, well, if you beat me Mystical, I'll make you the main booker. Now he's the booker of making matches. And what Chef had just mentioned, Court Bauer just got destroyed and taken out by Contra or Miles Kruger, which means there's going to be some kind of takeout. There's a war going on between MLW right now, between everybody in MLW. There's a war brewing between Cesar and De La Renta. What better way than you have the Latinos put their bitterness aside, come to a truce, and take over now a vulnerable MLW, since now Kurt Bauer is out of the picture. You have the main booker being Cesar now saying, hey, they're vulnerable. This is our time. Let's put our shit to the side. We could come back to this later in the future. There's money to be made, and we could take over this whole corporation right now, because no one is, the head is being cut off right now by Marsh Kruger. So right now, it could be over, but I'm going more with an alliance at the moment, where you put the two monster heads together as one, and you form that Voltron, and you take over MLW, and you go forward with an Azteca Underground show going forward. Now that you have that nice open window with CMLL, and you know, a lot of guys and ladies who us fans have never seen, unless if you follow, you know, the Mexican wrestling. You know, a lot of those guys, you know, we already seen all the AAA guys. We've seen all the guys from Crash Lucha. We've never seen the CMLL guys, except the ones that are coming now. And they still got a handful that they haven't even touched yet. So, you know, once they open the floodgates for the females, that's a whole different ball game there. So, you know, MLW could go through that change of, you know, hitting summer as a whole different company, you know, being all Azteca Underground, hit a lot of those shows out there in Texas size out there in the West, and you get a lot of those Mexican wrestlers coming in. I mean, this is the summer to make some money. Right now, they're the number 2 profitable company in the world right now because of that $20 million surplus that they just got in. They better use that money and put it into some kind of storyline that makes sense. This was being bottled 4 years ago, and then COVID hit, and then they had to reset everything, and then everybody left, and everybody came back. This is like being the second scene at making that first impression. Right now, nobody's hotter than La Renta right now. I mean, she's already been back on the top of the pecking order. Nobody's hotter than Cesar right now. Get them in there, let them do their shit. Max Kruger is back. He could do his own little thing, and he promised new guys coming in. So, I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath for MLW coming up, bro. And I can't wait till Friday's show.
I got a quick question for you, Muffins.
Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned doing the lucha thing, the Azteca Underground throughout the summer. Is this something you would propose in lieu of, like, would this be a new? Are you looking at it as like a new television show, or is this just the branding for the twice monthly events that they're doing now?
Maybe both. I mean, right now they're doing one live and then one taped every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks now. I mean, if you go with 2 different shows, you can make one the Azteca show, then the MLW show, where at least you'll have one every 2 weeks, and it makes sense as to why they're being split apart.
Okay.
Or unless you're having, you know, you go back to your weekly episodes, how it used to be, and, you know, every 2 weeks or vice versa, MLW, Azteca Underground back in, whatever way they could think about it. But right now it looks more as one big show, and then the taping being an Azteca Underground show.
Okay.
There's no more fusion right now.
Right. I was just asking because one of my complaints about MLW is the lacking consistency within the programming itself. Is that looking within the last about a year and a half or so, we've had Fusion disappeared for like 6 weeks, and then they had Underground, which only ran for about 10 weeks. Then there was a little lull in things, and then Fusion came back, and now Fusion's gone again. And now we're just doing these the bi-weekly model. So like you can't.
And it's weird. And it's weird. They never mentioned anything about why Fusion left and why they went to this new format.
Yeah, and I think one of MLW's problems in terms of maintaining momentum is due to that. Is that there's no consistency within the television product. So my concern is if we start branding things as Azteca Lucha without something else MLW in the background, like it's just going to cause further, like, yes, we can gain fans on the lucha product, which is always a good thing, but I think there's a distinct possibility we would lose people a more casual fan that's already looking for Fusion, and then all of a sudden here's Azteca Underground instead, or Azteca Lucha instead. But
see, I think,
sorry, Chef.
I think that no, it's all good. I think with what you're saying, when El Jefe kind of just fell off the planet of the Earth, and a lot of people kind of turned off with it because he brings that Lucha Underground following with him. So I think with him in the mix, you get those fans back. With Salina De La Renta being as hot as she is, you get that MLW core to say, okay, it looks like we have something promising. I wouldn't mind a complete takeover, but it has to be done right. It can't be like what you said, a few weeks here and then it's gone again. It has to be a legit takeover where they even burn MLW stuff, whatever the hell they're going to do. And I'd like to see a lot more done in Mexico as well. If you're going to have one of your guys defend the belt, and not against some random guy in their own hometown, but like say, against whoever, like you see Impact guys defend on House of Glory, or you see, because Santana on House of Glory is going against, he's in Impact Wrestling right now. Don't matter, but you see that opportunity. Yeah, so this should be an opportunity to say, look, we're doing content bi-weekly. Maybe we can actually send guys to CMLL, take that content, throw it out there so we have more content. Even if you're going to do it that way and make it your Lucha Azteca Underground, go ahead, shoot for it. Like, it's got to be done right, because just going into this bi-weekly, a lot of people got turned off when a lot of people have already been turned off. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be done right. The 20 million is a huge plus. You got to incorporate it back, like you guys are saying. Now, my question to you is, if they do this takeover, could you possibly see Richard Holiday kind of being the guy as that top guy? Because we knew El Jefe had a real big liking with Richard Holiday, even though he's in that WTF.
I don't think so. I mean, to me, it wouldn't make no sense.
WTF shit the way it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't make no sense for WTF to join the Azteca side.
No. I'm saying for him to turn his back on them and join El Jefe back.
I doubt it. I mean, I hope not, because right now he'll be like one of the main guys with him and Alex Kane, trying to right the ship of the MLW side. If ever comes to that type of war with MLW against the Azteca guy, you can't have one of the big MLW guys jump ship to jump into the Azteca side. I don't know. I don't think it makes any type of sense.
Yeah, and I
don't know. Cameron, what do you think? I don't know.
And if we're going to liken this to an invasion, I definitely think the best route to go would be bringing in outsiders. Use that 20 million to bolster the roster. Yes, Holiday is a get for whatever faction you want to get. You're going to have I'm not going to poo-poo that. That man should have been world champ. If anyone should have dethroned Alex Kane, it really should have been Holiday with the hype that he came into. But that being said, again, if we're looking at it as a hostile takeover, like really, we need to bring in a bunch of mercs. Like, in my humble opinion, like, yes, we can have people bounce around, but if you have people bounce around too much, people are gonna compare it to the N.W.A or compare it to the Invasion. Which, like, yes, the N.W.A started hot, and then everyone and their mother, jumped ship. And regardless of, like, yes, Holiday's a big get, but you start that slope, and people are just going to turn it off. And one thing MLW really can't afford right now is to make too many decisions that turn people off, regardless of how good it looks or how good it will be down the road if you give it a chance.
And if you're looking for merc, as you said, members, you already know Azteca Underground is going to be mostly all Latino wrestlers against MLW. MLW needs an army. Right now, there's a tag team who just became a free agents from Impact Wrestling, and both of them have been world champions in separate times in other belts, and that's the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, that's a name, top name brand tag team that you could bring in for the war with MLW. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out a name out there. Tag team veterans who've seen wars. Both Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, both of those guys have been in wars in a lot of places. Japan, Mexico, they travel all over the world, not just one place. I mean, that will be once established, and not even sign them. It's just for a little, 3 months or whatever. Because I'm pretty sure they don't want to get signed on that contract. They want to go around,
and right now with the taping schedule, all you got to do is like 3 dates, and bam, you got 3 months worth of content and possibly 6 television episodes to work with as well. So you don't have to do that much.
Sure they want to jump to AEW and N.W.A, maybe do a couple of matches there, especially now they have the tournament coming back. The Cracker Cup is coming back down in Dallas coming up. The Vanerics just moved to Dallas. The Vanerics have to be in that damn tournament. If they're not in that tournament, just cancel the damn tournament. You have them, you have to bring. The Motor Machine Guns, you have to bring them. Those are established tag teams, history in those guys. You bring those guys in, those specific names to the Cracker Cup, you make that cup even more prestigious. You bring those guys in, you bring back the Vanerics to MLW for 3 months. So, because they've been in those wars for before with Marsh Kruger and on those guys and shit. You want to bring guys who went there before, bring them back the Vanerics in a 3 month deal. So those guys.
I gotta ask you.
The name is the name, especially after that damn movie. Shit, those guys are the hottest name right now in wrestling.
So if we're all kind of excited for hopefully this takeover, right? And if you had this brand new money that you now have, would you not make that phone call to Santana and be like, "Yo, what is it going to take to strike you on a 3-year deal, and we want you as our Latin side of this war"? I mean, dude, he's the guy.
He wants, after all the shit that he's been through in the last 5 years in AEW, dude, he's not going to sign any type of contract.
For a 3-year deal?
Dude, not for no contract. He wants to, when you leave a place after you've been there for years and you've been mistreated, misguided, missed everything, you come back from a major injury you can go for a whole year, you come back and you finally get free. You don't want to jump into another contract.
I hear what you're saying.
You want to jump around and get that love back. He's not going to sign anything like that.
But the flip side of that is, again, we're not. It's MLW, so we're not necessarily talking exclusive. Like,
yes,
he just has. He can sign a contract and still work everywhere else, like he could in AEW, because he did work selected indie dates while in AEW as well.
Yeah, towards the end of the contract, yes.
And even before his injury, because he had a notoriously terrible match with Jonathan Gresham for whatever Gresham's promotion was.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the first show that was bad. The first show they had.
My thing with that is he went from the Indies straight to Impact Wrestling, right? I was there for his debut I was there for the LAX thing. You were there in Canada. So between me and you, we've seen his run in Impact Live.
Of course.
The love he got from the roster and fans, that should be his home. I'm just saying because we're fans of him. I'd love to see him in MLW.
Oh, for sure.
But AEW might have been a bad look, but look what you had before that. And you're telling me that if he doesn't have the opportunity to go to MLW and still do his indie thing, that he won't get that same
especially
love?
For guaranteed money.
It's what Camera said. Yes, that point. Yes, I was thinking signing like exclusively.
No.
Yes, no, like that. Yes, for sure. Yes, I get paid for the 3 years or whatever, and I get to do my shit on the side. I'm down with that. I don't have a problem with that. That would be awesome. And I didn't even think about his name till you mentioned it now.
Yeah, he feels like an El Jefe product, right? Like, to me, he screams Azteca Underground. So I was like, man, this would be dope. I got to talk to the guys about it. One of the issues that I wanted to talk about, me and Rob kind of talked about in the chat, where we've seen a whole bunch of guys come in, even through the draft, and we don't ever see them.
Oh, Jesus.
And to me, that is such a wasted opportunity.
What's the guy's name again?
I mean,
Blackwood.
Oh yeah, Kevin Blackwood, number one draft pick. Kevin
number
Blackwood.
one.
And he had like what, 2 matches?
Yep. And it took. There was like a significant chunk of time in between his drafting and when he actually debuted. It became kind of a running joke on here for a bit of like, where's our number one draft pick?
Yeah, and he had like 2 matches. I think he was 1-1 and got hurt or whatever, and that was it. But I was gonna say back to Santana, dude, you bring him back on the side of MLW with 5150. You put him in with Slice Boogie and Danny, and he's the mouthpiece. And then they turn on MLW and join the Latino side. You know, because to me, I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell in a street fight, 5150 or whatever they would call over there, Power and Powerful, loses to the best friends on a street fight.
That's on so disrespectful.
Dude, I was so disheartened when I saw that, and they lost to the best friends.
I don't want to make this a ghetto thing versus whatever, right? Like, I don't want to do that. But when you got somebody like Santana and Ortiz that are really from that, they Google them. They're really from that.
Yes.
And you have them lose to some goofy characters. Like, if you lose in a regular match, cool. But like street fights or backstage brawls, whatever you want to call it, that's got to be in their wheelhouse. It's kind of, listen, we all said this. LAX, well, yeah, we call them LAX because that's what they were. So Santana and Ortiz of LAX was arguably the hottest tag team name in all of wrestling. WWE, Impact, MLW, N.W.A, I don't care what it was. Everyone knew their name. Everybody was speaking LAX. These guys are official. They went over there. It was a complete flop. I don't know what Ortiz is doing because I don't watch. Santana, I seen him on House of Glory because Muffins had sent me something. And I'm like, this is what he needs. Like, he's that guy. MLW specializes in guys like that. They know how to work with people from all different walks of life. You can go from Love Doug to Alex Kane to fucking Mads Kruger. You got so many different characters, and they easy to work with them all and make them all look good, where some of the people do not know how to harness specific people. This is why I think his perfect opportunity would be with Azteca Underground or MLW, period.
Well, I know tomorrow there's an interview. I guess it's dropping with him, with Santana, one of those big guys. So I guess tomorrow we get to hear exactly all of the back stuff and, and the reasons why shit didn't work and why he left. And hopefully they'll touch on the Ortiz issue, and we could probably find out exactly what the hell happened between those guys. Because like you said, those guys were a hot commodity coming out of Impact, and they went right to AEW. They were hot as cake, and they fizzle faster than snow in July.
I'm not a big wrestling guy. You guys are. I've never seen anybody fade that fast.
Yeah. Oh, bad. Cameron, spit it out, bro.
Okay, I was going to go back to the Court Bauer, kind of like the MLW. This is a fit for MLW. Court Bauer has a reputation online amongst the internet wrestling community. He is called the Asshole Whisperer. His specialty is taking guys that are rehab projects and bringing them back up. Like, he is one of the few guys that can work with Low-Ki and not have Low-Ki himself out. You know, he's worked well with Austin Aries during Austin Aries' cup of coffees with the company. Like, you know, he's a guy
what happened to that dude anyways?
He got a whole myriad of things that get him, well, I hate the term, but he got canceled because he allegedly, even by his own admission or by his statement, had sexually assaulted numerous folk. And then it turned out he was a hardcore anti-vax, anti-mask. And actually, that's what kind of kept him off for a while, was once they started doing like the mask and vaccination updates. Like, he would basically just say, like, I won't do your show if any fans are masked. Yeah. And how much of that was legit and how much of that was just him trying to ride the edgelord wave, I don't know. But that burnt a lot of goodwill that he may have had. And then you throw in the 2020 accusations in along with it, and he became virtually unemployable.
Yeah, I never heard of anything like that from him.
And you were there for what he no-sold, right?
Oh, when he burnt the bridge with TNA too.
Yeah.
I was there for that match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You was there for that.
Yeah, and the flicking fingers between the guy at that time there from the top and him back and forth. Nobody saw that because you were in the angle. I was from the angle. I'm going, oh Lord, these people are just. I'm hoping that I'm thinking this. I hope this is not on TV because they just going crazy out here, just flicking each other off.
But yeah, so Court has a good reputation amongst rehab projects, and you could try to argue one way or another Santana is a rehab project, because now is the time for him to show he can either A, he can go as a singles guy and be the guy, or B, do a 180, do up a new character, get a new group around him or whatever. Either way, like he's at a nexus in his career right now, and that's Court's specialty.
Well, hopefully he'll be one of those projects and bring back 5150, and legit 5150 and shit, and go there crazy there. But I still like him single. I mean, he'll be having some good matches there at House of Glory. So, yeah, real good matches there.
But like we were saying, with the two hottest names in MLW, it's two people that aren't even in the ring, with El Jefe and Salina de la Renta. And she bringing what you guys, and I agree, they got Bad Dude Tito. That's a legit badass.
Bad Dude Tito.
You got
unfortunately nobody knew who he was, when he came out, but like they did it backwards, like Cameron said, they did it backwards. They should have had the taping match first where he destroys somebody, then have him go lose to the surfy guy, whatever.
Oh, Riddle. And that's something that annoyed me too. Just to jump in, like, I don't know if you guys, well, you posted in the chat, Salina de la Renta's promo where she's mostly ragging on Cesar and doing the mature, he's got a little dick disease. But one of the things that like irked me about the promo was that he's like, Bad Dude Tito's already tearing things up, and I'm like, Bad Dude Tito's 1-1, lady.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 1-1, lady. There we go. Get the proper stats. So like, he's already winning matches. Yes, he won a match against some mook that might have been me. I don't know. You throw a guy under a mask, and it might have just been legit a member of the audience. That's nothing to brag about.
I thought he looked like camera there for a second. 6'6" guy. I said he looks and moves just like him. I don't know.
Damn, Rob.
66 moves faster than me.
It was a sticker 66. All I know is this: if Camera doesn't get in the ring on May 11th there in Chicago, I'm boycotting MLW shit.
You've been slacking on the promotion for that. You're supposed to be holding Court hostage, and I have yet to see you doing any sort of promotion for a potential match between myself and Ricky Shade Page. Since I can't steal the tag team titles from a Second Gear Crew now.
Yeah, he made a title shot.
Muffins is sleeping on this.
Sorry, what kind of promoter are you, man?
I know. I'm a bad.
I'm never going to make it big in this business. Like,
my bad.
You got to be doing the weekly Tony Khan big announcement things, man. Come on.
Oh, You got to do the at least on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. Come on, dude.
Yeah. But
So,
like
I
Rob
know,
Chev
like you
said,
say-
man. Well, like Chev said, man, right now there's nobody hotter than this storyline between Cesar and De La Renta. I love how they keep putting little videos there every other day, you know, going back and having little things. Even though their MLW takes this big as long as break in between, at least little videos like this by WTF or by this, you know, De La Renta or Cesar keeps you going, you know, keeps the momentum going from not having anything. Because after this show on Friday the 29th, they don't have anything till the middle of April. I mean, like 3 weeks in. So I'm like, good God. Because they're not even involved in any WrestleMania weekend anything shows at all. So
Again?
I don't know what happened. I don't know why they missed the boat on that. But
Probably afraid of rebuttal from the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
point.
competition now. You guys are running the weekend, so
everybody is though.
yeah, but not everybody's on the same terms as MLW and WWE is either.
Yeah, they just got to pay them $20 million. They're not on the same playing field as everyone else.
But they should have done something. I'm just saying, at least have some wrestlers, you know, advertise.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's going to be here. This guy's going to be here, and on, you know, representing MLW. Nothing, you know. Then you're going to have us watch a show on Friday, and then 3 weeks later, you're going to give us a tape show of maybe one or two matches, because you're going to have the second War Chamber match that we won't see. And Cameron was the one who brought that to me. I thought they were going to have both of them, but I guess they're having the calling and and whatever the other group's name is on that taping for us to watch on the 20th or whatever.
Oh, and don't forget, before we rag on it too much, that I believe Battle Riot is going to be towards the end of April as well.
Okay. Down from Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so it's been a while since I jumped on here and complained about the calling, right? Like, kind of my asshole bag. You guys bring it up. I wasn't. What is your feeling for this match with Jay Chris, Akira, Jimmy Lloyd, Raven versus the calling? Because I really don't give two shits what happens in this match. And Akira is now stuck again with fucking bombs.
Jay Chris is not a bomb.
No,
I love
right.
Jay Chris.
Okay.
I love Jay
Jay
Chris.
Chris is good, and I apologize. That's on me. Half of his team is bums versus 4 other bums.
I will say, actually, believe it or not, of the 2 War Games matches, in terms of a pure match, like not ignoring the storylines, just from a pure match standpoint, I'm actually looking forward more to this match than I am the WTF Second Gear Crew Cozy Max match, because that match, I'm not sure how well that's going, like overall going to work, because Kojima's injured. Okamura, I've not seen in this environment, so I don't know how well like he's going to adapt to it. But one thing I do know, like I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Lloyd. I'm not a big fan of Jeff Cannonball, but those 2 guys are willing to bleed. Sami Callihan, he's got the deathmatch stuff going for him. Jake Christ bleeds buckets and loves it. Akira obviously is the Death Samurai. He's a deathmatch guy. Like Ricky Shane Page, also deathmatch guys. So I think from a pure violence, like closer to the spirit of the original War Games in terms of this is going to be like the big cluster, everyone's bleeding. I think this will be the better match of the 2 of them.
I just say too much blood, man. After a while, just like, dude, like enough. Jesus. All right.
See, and I don't think we're gonna get that much blood out of the other War Games match.
I don't think so either, which is good.
I think it'll just be Manders bleeding. And
it's going to be 2 rings this time around, not 1. So they went back to the old way. So that's going to make them bigger and last more, instead of having everybody in 1 ring with all the shit, and you can't do nothing because everybody's in this little square. No.
So what's the end game for this, do you think, that comes out of this match?
Of which one?
The one we're talking about with all the blood.
Calling response. See, that's the problem. Is so like outside of very specific circumstances, I find a lot of what should be blow-offs for MLW to either A, not be a blow-off, or B, they 180'd me for no apparent reason. Looking at you, Rocky Romero Ichiban. So like really, for both matches, this should be the feud ender. Like, I think it's ridiculous to lock each other in a giant cage and have a potential bloodbath and not be the end. But like realistically speaking, like in terms of, I think what would be the most storyline sense is the response would be victorious, and indirectly, like I think I think both factions would kind of go their own way. Like the response was just there to beat up the Calling, and I feel like this match, if the Calling lose, would just without a stipulation, should just naturally just kind of disband on their own, because Callahan can do his own thing and he'll be fine. Ricky Shane Page can actually do his own, when he wants to be and give him material to work with, he can actually be very entertaining. It's just this Calling stuff, I think, has just been just a slog in general, and not the most well suited for Ricky Shane Page's talents.
Well,
and then we just get rid of Cannonball.
Defend the title already for once. Defend the title, dude. Jesus, that's like, I mean, that title has already been like negated and like turned off because it hasn't been. It's been a couple of months, or maybe once this year has been defended, and that was against Jay Christ. So.
Yeah.
Do you think at any point Callahan and Jay Chris try to do OVW again?
OVE?
OVE, sorry.
Maybe that's the end game of this here War Chamber.
That's why they pay you guys the big bucks.
Yes. Well, he got the hat on, so he's thinking better.
He's on the big brain.
He got the big brain. He got the Debo hat.
So we talked. Unfortunately, we're going to probably see a lot of. Well, we didn't talk that. That's what I want to talk about Rob about. A lot of the guys that we were seeing, we think might not be around because we're seeing more guys come in. Those guys will probably be gone, which I hope TJ Crawford is not one of them, because I like TJ Crawford. But this is what happens with MLW is, and Rob was saying it when we talked the draft, a lot of the guys that get drafted, we really don't see them, do much. What's the girl? Something James.
Tiara James.
Tiara James. When's the last time we seen her?
That fatal four-way.
Yeah. So she's still doing her thing there, and Ichiban was the other guy. So
if you sit back and you go, okay, who's had the better MLW career at the same time they pretty much came in? Zeta Steel or Tiara James?
I would say Zeta. I would just argue because Tiara is just not there yet. Like, I think she's a prospect, but she's just not. She needs some more reps.
She the first female should have been highlighted big time.
Yeah, Zeta right now is like the one that they really are behind, but
she's like the unofficial face of the division, really.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised that she lost to Delmy at the last show, to be honest with you.
But she only lost the way they did it. She only lost because El Jefe kind of, distracted her. So it was a way to keep her strong, because Delmy just didn't dominate her. It wasn't one of these Janai Kai beat you in like a few seconds and done. So Zeta still looked good.
No, and I was gonna say, and really, like the rest of that, like most of the rest of that show, it was just more. It was there to help continue the feud between Jefe and Salina. So we don't need a Zeta in the middle of that.
I mean, she did get knocked out at the end. She got like pimp slapped at the end, but I liked everything. Listen, there's a lot of stuff I like that MLW is doing right now. Is it way too faction heavy? Kind of, because you got WTF, you have the Calling, you have whatever the other group is called, you have Promotions Dorado, you got the Azteca Lucha. So there's a lot of shit going on. But at some point, you're going to go, okay, what does WTF do next? You're not going to have them go against the calling. For what? Like, the calling is so beneath what WTF is trying to do. There's no point. It's just at a point you got to start making these stories work. You got to start building things the right way. And you can't keep having too many guys come in and out. So, I don't know.
And bolster that,
because I'm in my feelings.
And to bolster that is like, in addition to all the stables, note like outside of the response, they're all heel stables too. There's a lack of depth in the babyface area in MLW because Muffins and I kind of brought it up in one of the previous episodes of like
yeah,
who would you do next? And I sat there and went like, uh-oh. I don't have an answer for like who goes, like if we take Kane out of the equation and then Kojima finally goes back to Japan, like what's kind of left on the babyface side of things, because they haven't really pushed the Second Gear crew as as like singular forces. Like, yes, they've wrestled singles matches, but like they've still been mostly associated with the tag team scene, though Manders has been given a little bit more time to shine in singles competition. But like what everyone else on the babyface side has been like kind of mired up in the middleweight cluster scene. So you have your Ichibans that started off strong, and now we have no clue what they are. If we're gonna call Bomaye babyfaces, really functionally speaking, the only real wrestler of Bomaye, and like Bomaye is just Faye Jackson, who's a valet right now, Kane and Thomas barely steps foot in the ring. So there's nothing, like, I don't know what happened to Bougie. I don't know what happened to O'Shea Edwards, and O'Shea won't tell me what happened to O'Shea Edwards because I tried. I tried to be a journalist for once, and I got the meh. And I don't know, if he's, if that's a legit meh or it was a wait and see kind of thing. But like,
yeah, because
but there's no baby faces left. I don't know which episode it was, but like there's an episode where I said, like, flat out said I would have O'Shea take the title from Alex Kane, and then all the air went out of the ring. Because Kane just won the belt too, but that's how high I am on O'Shea Edwards, and he had a scramble match and like a tag team match, and that was it.
Yeah, it was him and Bougie, I think, right?
Yeah.
Jay Bougie.
Yeah. But yeah, so like there's the Bomayes are gone, and they're kind of sort of baby. Like I think Kane has moved more from tweener to babyface at this point. But like, yeah, there's like not a whole lot left to the original point of like there's really no baby faces left, and we have all these like heel stables. Like the only thing it's keeping it from being totally lame is that Azteca and Dorada are kind of cannibalizing on each other, and I guess by proxy Cesar is a face because Salina really goes hard into some of the cheap heat. Everyone's going to boom you one way, shape, or form.
I mean, but
territory.
Would you consider him a face when he just pulled the Negan with the whistling and walking by beat down Rocky?
Oh no, and I don't consider him a face. Like, but within that feud, he's the face of it. Like he's the baby. I consider him a face. Yeah, like he's not a traditional baby face at all. And like I would question, like, if this feud ended right now, like I wouldn't call him a baby face.
Yeah.
Between them two, he's the face, and she's the bad girl who's been torn. She's jaded. She wants to kill him, period, by any means necessary. You like me
but it feels like she's the bad girl and he's the less bad guy. Like it just feels like they're two bad
It's American
people.
Politics. Do you want the evil thing or the slightly less evil thing?
Yeah, exactly. You want the one that doesn't act evil on TV, but is evil behind closed doors, or the one that's always evil, period. People are going to go with the guy who's less evil on TV, but does the bad things behind closed doors. So,
all right, so you know what? We talked a lot. I'm going to ask you, if you had to pick a side, if you go Team Salina De La Renta or Team El Jefe, Rob, which one are you leaning to?
Honestly, I just for feeling's sake and ignoring a lot of other stuff, like if they both offered me a contract, I'd join Azteca Lucha. You can't go wrong with Lucha Underground. You know exactly what you're going to get out of Cesar. Selena may stab me in the back later. I don't know. No, that's a lie. I know, because she's not going to give me a contract at all. Whereas at least Jefe would be like, go fight this guy and die.
You're a politician. Rob is a politician. He handled that real nice.
Me, you already know who I'm going with. She could steal. She could grab it right there in front of me, steal it. She could be on film, on the picture, on camera, HD, HDR10. That was made up. I'm still signing with Salina de la Renta, period. Got to sign with the Puerto Ricans. Got to sign with you got to follow the Puerto Ricans no matter what. So, you know, I got to follow my girl, bro. You got to follow my girl. Like I said, she could be guilty. You could show me all the proof in the world. I'm still saying that she didn't do it.
So if she puts the knife in your back, tells you, I'm stabbing you in the back, you're going to be like, okay.
Yeah, so yes, ma'am. Can I have another? That's what you're saying.
Another?
Can I have another, please? Just
you missed a long, mistress.
Yeah. Just stay right there. Just stay in this part right here because I don't feel anything here. So just stay right here.
I have 2 kidneys. Would you like to stab those too?
Team Azteca Underground.
Yes.
I'm just the guy who's going to ask these stupid questions and try to do the political thing of not giving an answer.
Well, we know you were Team Cesar anyway, so it don't matter.
Oh, El Jefe all day. But it wouldn't be fair if I did that. It sounds like I'm just super biased.
You're super biased.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but it doesn't sound good for podcasting shit, right? Listen.
No, that's the entire point of podcasting, is to show off how much hair you have on your neck beard.
Yes.
You be super biased and you throw out all sorts of crazy ass, made up statistics.
Yes.
And things that like no normal person would even like remotely consider. And you put it on the internet, and now you're a wrestling podcaster. Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. So listen, I don't think we missed anything, right? We hit everything we were going to hit on a little more.
No, we hit everything, man.
I didn't come in with an agenda, so
right now
I could have sat silent for 45 minutes. And
right now, MLW went from being cold to getting hot again. So,
absolutely, we're excited about it. We're going to be doing more shows that they'll be putting out. Listen, Rob K, he's got his amazing blazer on, looking official like a referee with a whistle. Muffins Martinez with the old school Houston Oilers shirt. I'm rocking the Allen. Listen, if you're going to rock something, you rock Allen Iverson, the greatest point shooting guard of all time. AEI, the GOAT.
The answer.
We talked everything. If you've listened to us for this long and you've seen our faces, which GQ Man of the Year, who wants to be claimed and dubbed that, we on Spotify, we got audio, you got all that good shit. So if you're listening, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching, go look for our Spotify stuff. It'll be in the links. Muffins Martinez, Rob K, this old bastard here, Chef. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Deuces.